to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. I kept going back and forth. Should I do the whole review as a silent movie? People might like it, but there will also be people that will hate it. So, no, I'll just do the opening. Anyway, welcome to Nosferatu. Well, what can I say about this movie that wouldn't spoil things, and yet you kind of know how the movie plays out if you've seen any adaptation of Dracula or the original 1922 Nosferatu. You know how things go event-wise. So it's not really more of not wanting to spoil what is old, but rather what is new about it, because holy crap, Robert Eggers did an incredible job with the atmosphere, the lighting, the mood. Everything around it is done creepily. There are jump scares that are done properly. Like every time there's a fake jump scare, there is no sound effect or music blaring at you when there's a fake jump scare. If there's a jump scare with a legitimate attack, with the legitimate threat, then that's when the music or the sounds start blaring like they're supposed to. Because that's how jump scares should be done when they are used. The cast is incredible. Nicholas Hoult plays Thomas, who is basically Jonathan Harker, but can't be Jonathan Harker, because if you know what happened with Nosferatu back in the 20s, there was this unauthorized adaptation of the book, and Bram Stoker's widow sued, and almost all copies were destroyed because they were ordered to be destroyed. And then it turned out that in America, Bram Stoker did not actually finish his copyright of the book. So nobody actually owned the rights of the book, which Bram Stoker's widow did not find out until she went to renew it. Therefore, Nosferatu was actually a legal version. And that is what Robert Eggers was basing his adaptation off of. And he does it really well. So yes, we've got all the characters. Basically, they are the Dracula characters with different names. So we have Thomas, who is Jonathan Harker. We've got Mina, who is Ellen? Now I'm forgetting her name. We have a Van Helsing character. We have a Dr. Seward character. We have an Arthur character. The only one really missing is Quincy Morris. We've got our crazed lunatic, whose Dracula name is also escaping me right now. But anyway, so we've got Nicholas Hoult as Jonathan Thomas. We have Johnny Depp's daughter as Ellen. Why can't I think of it now? Well, whatever. She does an incredible job. I'm like, okay, maybe she's not just going to be successful because of her dad. Maybe she actually has something to herself, which would be nice. We have William Dafoe is a lot cooler of a Van Helsing than Anthony Hopkins was. And in fact, I would say this is on par with Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola film, for me. That Coppola movie is my favorite adaptation of Dracula to date. It's the only one that feels the closest to the book, even though it does make some changes. And this new Nosferatu is almost, if not equally, on terms. If this had been called Dracula and the characters had been the Dracula characters, I probably would have liked it better. But because it is Nosferatu, it has to follow the exact story beats of Nosferatu itself, including the ending that I'm a little bit iffy on in the original movie. If you don't know about it, Nosferatu is the movie that signified vampires' weakness to sunlight. Because in the Bram Stoker novel, vampires did not die at sunlight. It would weaken them. They weren't at their most powerful, but they didn't die from it. Nosferatu was the first movie that actually made a vampire die by being touched by the sunlight. And so other movies ended up starting to follow that. Even, obviously, the older versions of Dracula was following that until they did direct adaptations of the book. And now we have a remake of Nosferatu, and it is very well done. The lighting is incredible. The scenes will be very dark, and the only light is coming from a lantern or a candle or whatever have you, and it just plays with your mind with the shadows, like, is there something going on in there? There's a really effective scene where the camera turns around, you're just like looking, and you're like, okay, something's gonna happen when it comes back, something's gonna happen when it comes back, and oh, interesting. And we have, well, Bill Skarsgård as Orlok, Count Dracula. But not Dracula, because, again, copyright. I feel like Skarsgård is a modern day Lon Chaney, because he has no problem doing all these characters with makeup on. I know some people say, well, any actor can do makeup these days like that because they can do that in any movie. Yeah, but how many actors these days are willing to put themselves in makeup where you don't even recognize the actor? That's the thing. Bill Skarsgård cannot be recognized as Orlok. You look at his Orlok, you look at his Pennywise, and you would not know they are the same person. That's how incredible he is. And the best thing about Orlok is they kept him in the shadows. They don't truly show you what he actually looks like in full until the tail end of the movie. And he is creepy. Like, when you first actually see him in the movie, he is standing in the distance, and then when they show up a little bit later, he's in front of a fireplace, so all you have is really his silhouette in the fireplace. And then the camera is kind of like blurry when it has more of a, when you can see more of him, but it's blurry to have Thomas in the foreground and Orlok is in the background. I guess technically it'd be like this. And it's pretty blurry in there. The way they keep Orlok ingrained in shadows is incredible. It's what the new version of Salem's Lot should have done with their Count Barlow, instead of showing Barlow off in like the first 15 minutes of the movie. And the voice they did for Orlok was so intimidating and creepy and deep. They have a mix of having him speak in English and in some European, Eastern European language. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be Czech or what did they call it back then? I can't remember. But he has this really deep, raspy voice that just sounds threatening. You're hearing him and you're like, oh my god, is this dude going to kill me? And then the way they do the plague being brought to this town is very effective. It is such an incredible movie. The soundtrack really grips at you. It really heightens your senses of, oh shit, something's about to happen. It's not as loud and gothic sounding as Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola film. It's more reserve, but again, both movies have two different effects. One is meant to be really romanticize the Dracula story that Bram Stoker wrote and has as much accuracy as possible while making it sound epic. This one sounds like it's chilling to the bone. It's very effective. I mean, I'm going back and forth now of like, is this my favorite movie of the year? Holy shit, this was so damn good. I want to see it again. I want to watch the original again. I want to watch the Coppola film now again. So, if you have not seen Nosferatu, don't wait any longer. Check it out. If you have never seen a vampire movie before, a true vampire movie, you might be in for a shock. Because this is not like you're all pretty, shiny vampires who are playboys. This is the creepy way vampires were supposed to be back in story, or this is the way vampires were in stories back then, and how it should have remained. I'm going to give Nosferatu a solid 10 out of 10. And again, if you have not seen it, go right now and check it out. You will be batty if you do not watch this film. What is your favorite vampire movie? What is your favorite adaptation of Dracula? Let me know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking in to support me. You can support me on Patreon and Bluesky at Toku Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami, and my website, creativitybydesignllc.com. There you can also buy Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. And until next time, bye.